Fragrant Shadows, the last refuge of Prabu Siliwangi. Prologue, Scipio's Report, 1687, in the year of the Lord. Diary of Peter Scipio, June 12, 1687. This forest breathes, I can feel it. Every wisp of fog slipping between the giant trees seems to whisper an ancient curse. We arrived at Batutulis by order of the Governor-General to claim the inscriptions left behind by the Pajajaran kingdom. But since our feet first touched this wet soil, something has been watching. Not a man, not a beast, something older. Scipio shivered as he wrote those words beneath the dim glow of an oil lantern. The night's crickets suddenly fell silent. In the distance, from behind the fog, a pair of glowing yellow eyes appeared. Lieutenant van der Berg, the youngest member of the expedition, raised his rifle. "It's just a tiger, sir," he whispered, though his voice cracked. Suddenly, a roar shattered the silence, not from one direction, but from all corners of the forest at once. The air reeked of rancid blood. With trembling hand, Scipio wrote, "They are coming. God have mercy on us." The next morning, van der Berg's corpse was found hanging from the branch of a banyan tree. His chest was torn open by claws the length of a man's arm, but most horrifying of all, his heart was missing. In the muddy ground below, human footprints mingled with tiger paw prints, leading deeper into the forest. Origins of the Tiger King. The Throne and Curse. Pakuan Palace, 1482. In the year of the Lord. The Long Drought. Prabu Siliwangi sat upon his throne carved from rosewood, adorned with dragon motifs, his hand gripping tightly the sacred blade Kujang Pamungkas. Outside the palace, the crimson dusk sky stretched like a vast burial shroud over the Pajajaran kingdom. 3 months had passed without rain. Rice fields split open, wells ran dry, and the stench of death drifted from border villages stricken with plague. "Your Majesty, Guru Gantangan awaits you in the meditation chamber," whispered Pati Sangyang, the elderly counselor robed in white who had served 3 generations of Sundanese kings. His sharp eyes observed the dark circles beneath Siliwangi's, proof the king had not slept for days. In the incense-filled basement chamber, Guru Gantangan, the blind priest guardian of the sacred Galunggung shrine, sat cross-legged on a bamboo mat. Before him, the Sangyang Tapak, ancestral prophecy stone, glowed with a faint blue light. "Listen, my lord," Guru Gantangan's hoarse voice echoed, his wrinkled finger pointing at the ancient script. "Here it is written, when the blood moon touches the peak of Salak, the king shall lose his shadow to the claws of the white tiger. The kingdom will fall beneath the feet of the beast that rejects its own shadow." Siliwangi frowned. "What does this mean?" Guru Gantangan lifted a brass bowl of sacred water. On its surface, Siliwangi's reflection shifted into a man with the head of a white tiger chewing on a human heart. "You will become what you fear, or die trying to resist it," he whispered. "The king's nightmare." That night, Siliwangi awoke to the sound of dogs howling in the distance, but when he opened his chamber window, the palace was eerily silent. Not even the guards could be seen. Suddenly, the metallic stench of blood filled the room. From behind the curtains, a woman clad in yellow appeared. "Ni Roro Kidul." "Beware of your offerings, king," she whispered, her voice like cascading waterfalls. "Mount Salak will not accept blood tainted with pride." Before Siliwangi could ask, the earth trembled. The palace floor gave way, and he plunged into a bottomless chasm. He awoke in a primeval forest. Colossal trees with bleeding roots loomed overhead. Twin red suns burned in the sky. In the distance, the roars of thousands of tigers echoed as one. "You stand in my realm now," a booming voice resounded. From the mist emerged a white tiger the size of an elephant. Its fur shimmered like molten silver, its saber-like fangs dripping greenish slime. "Why do you disturb my peace, human king?" Siliwangi drew his dagger, but his legs were ensnared by the bleeding roots. "I only wish to protect my people," the white tiger snarled, its breath foul with carrion. "Then why do you let them die of thirst? Why not offer yourself to Dewi Shri instead?" Before Siliwangi could reply, a massive claw struck. Waking from the dream, Siliwangi awoke in his chamber, drenched in cold sweat. But this was no longer the same room. Walls clawed to shreds, his ornate teakwood bed reduced to splinters. In the corner, a black cat hung lifeless, its entrails arranged into the Surya Majapahit symbol. "My lord!" Patisangyang rushed in, eyes widening at the carnage. This is the mark of the white tiger." Siliwangi raised his blood-stained hands, not his own blood. "What happened last night?" "The ancient texts speak of the white tiger spirit testing its chosen ruler with 3 dreams," Pati explained. "If you fail..." Suddenly, a piercing scream erupted from the stables. All 27 royal war horses, including Siliwangi's beloved steed, Si Kantel, lay dead in grotesque fashion, bellies torn open, organs missing. On the stable walls, a giant tiger's claw mark dripped in fresh blood. The Royal Emergency Council. In the palace hall, nobles whispered in panic. Crown Prince Walangsungsang trembled, clutching the royal kujang. "Father, this must be Demak's doing. They wish to weaken us before the war." But Siliwangi shook his head. From the window, he gazed toward Mount Salak, shrouded in black clouds. "This is older than rival kingdoms. This is something far more dangerous." A young priest from Siptajalar suddenly prostrated himself. "Your Majesty, please allow me to speak. In our village, 5 maidens vanished last month. When found in the forest, their bodies intact, but their hearts gone. Tiger claw marks scarred the ground." With trembling hands, the priest drew a heart-shaped stone from his pouch. It pulsed like living flesh. This was found in one of the corpses. When Siliwangi touched the stone, visions overwhelmed him. Standing atop Mount Salak, encircled by thousands of white tigers. In his hand, a still-beating human heart. The battle at Kurugsawa, location, Kurugsawa Majalenka. A thick mist shrouded the valley of Kurugsawa, muffling the roar of a 30-meter waterfall crashing onto jagged black stones. Prabhu Siliwangi and his 12 loyal guards stepped cautiously among the giant camphor roots that coiled like serpents. The stench of sulfur seeped from the cracks in the earth, a sign they had entered forbidden ground, where the mortal world brushed against the unseen. "Paduka, this is the domain of Batharakala. It's dangerous," cried Jaka Myring, the youngest commander, his hand gripping the hilt of his kris. But his warning came too late. From within the fog came a hissing voice. "Humans, daring to trespass upon our sacred soil?" At once 5 figures emerged. Not ordinary tigers. They stood upright like men, forepaws twisted into clawed hands, their glowing yellow eyes burning like fire. The largest among them wore a necklace of human skulls. Maung Bodas, the king of the white tiger spirits. "You think you can escape alive, human king?" snarled Maung Bodas, his tongue flickering like blue flame. "Here, we are the rulers." Battle erupted. Kriski Donkol, heirloom blade of Siliwangi's line, slashed toward the demon's neck. But the moment steel touched tiger flesh, the blade melted like wax. "Your weapon is useless in our realm," laughed Maung Bodas, raking his claws across Siliwangi's arm, spilling black blood. Siliwangi staggered back. His men fell one by one, throats torn out, hearts ripped away by invisible claws. In despair, he recalled the teaching of an old hermit, Ajian Maung Sankang, the ritual to summon the ancestral guardian spirit of the Sunda kingdom. With his own blood, he drew a circle of mantra upon the wet earth and roared, "Hear me, spirit of Mount Salak. If I am truly the rightful king, grant me strength to protect my people." The skies darkened, lightning split the fog, and a golden radiance engulfed Siliwangi's body. When the light dimmed, a pair of glowing golden claws had formed in his hands, and his shadow had become that of a colossal tiger with eyes of fire. Maung Bodas growled in fear. You have summoned the mountain's guardian spirit." The battle reached its peak. Siliwangi struck like the wind, golden claws tearing into the demon's flesh. Black blood sprayed, burning the soil where it fell. "Your weakness is here," shouted Siliwangi, plunging his claws straight between Maung Bodas's glowing eyes. The tiger demon shrieked, its body dissolving into white mist. "This defeat is not the end. My spirit will bind to yours, and you will pay the price." When the mist cleared, Siliwangi stood alone. Around him, the remaining white tigers knelt, heads bowed, We submit, new sovereign. Command us. The Eternal Pact, Pakuan Palace, 2 months after the battle. That night, a blood-red full moon hung above the skies of Pakuan. Prabu Siliwangi sat on the palace balcony, staring into the reflection on the pond below. Not his human form, but that of a white tiger, its emerald eyes glimmering in the water. Since forging the pact with Maung Bodas, he no longer recognized himself. "Father, what has happened to you?" whispered Prince Walangsungsang, the crown prince, trembling in fear. He had just watched his father devour raw deer flesh, offered by the royal beastkeepers, a ritual demanded at every full moon. "This power is like a double-edged blade, my son," Siliwangi rasped. "I can crush my enemies in an instant, but look." He lifted his hand. His fingernails had lengthened into sharp black claws. On the battlefield, the transformation was a blessing. When Kiribon's soldiers stormed the borders, Siliwangi only needed to stand upon a hill. His towering tiger shadow filled the sky, sending thousands of enemies fleeing in terror. But within the palace walls, whispers spread. Servants swore they had seen a half-man, half-tiger creature wandering the armory at night. One morning, Siliwangi awoke lost within the forbidden forests near Mount Salak. The smell of fresh blood overwhelmed his senses. Before he realized, a deer lay torn apart by his own hands, its raw flesh clenched between his teeth. "I am becoming one of them," he muttered in horror. That night, Maung Bodas returned in his dreams, his voice echoing from within Siliwangi's own chest. "You are no longer man nor tiger. You are the guardian of the threshold." The binding ritual. At the summit of Mount Salak, Siliwangi performed the sacred Mupuk Pamali ritual with the tribal elders. The blood of a white tiger was mixed with wild forest honey, and he drank it to seal the eternal bond. From that moment onward, the Spirit Army. 100 white tigers became the invisible guardians of his palace. The curse. At every full moon, Siliwangi was bound to consume raw flesh to prevent himself from losing control. The mark. Dark stripes began to spread across his back, glowing faintly like fire licking through his skin. Inner conflict. Prince Walangsungsang pleaded with his father to stop. "Father, this is not the true path. Dark power will consume you." But Siliwangi only shook his head. "I have sold half my soul for Pajajaran. There is no turning back." Traces in the modern era. The young archaeologist's Discovery Archaeology Laboratory, Pajajaran University, Riani peered through the microscope at a fragment of ancient bark manuscript. Her hands trembled as she brushed the surface gently with a fine brush. The old Sundanese inscription was unmistakable. On Mount Salak, hidden behind 7 waterfalls and 3 hills of corpses, lies the spirit palace where the king rests. Only those pure of heart may pass the trials of the white tiger. This is the discovery of the century," she whispered. But her senior professor laughed. "Nonsense. Siliwangi is just a legend. Focus on research that can actually bring us funding." Riani was undeterred. That night, in a dimly lit coffee shop, she met with Eric, an illegal treasure hunter. "I can assemble a team," Eric muttered, sliding a cigarette between his lips. "But we'll have to go in this week. The rainy season will make Salak twice as dangerous." Riani nodded, her eyes burning with determination. She knew the risks, yet something deeper pulled her toward the mountain, as though an ancient voice had already chosen her path. The forbidden ritual. Mount Salak. A thick fog enveloped the Parahyangan Agung temple. Riani and her 5 companions stood in a circle around a 3-meter-tall statue of a white tiger. Eric poured the blood of a black goat into a hollow carved into the stone altar. "Blood for the gatekeeper," Eric read from a forged manuscript. "With this we ask for passage." Suddenly the wind whipped into a violent spiral, forming a vortex. The stone tiger shuddered. Cracks spread across its eyes, glowing with an eerie blue light. This isn't a special effect," Riani whispered, her face pale. Then a scream tore through the night. Budi, the youngest of the group, was yanked into the fog by something unseen. His cries vanished into the forest. A trail of blood led to the edge of a cliff. There they found his shoe, stuffed with long strands of white fur. The clash of two worlds. The curse of Maung Bodas, Mount Salak forest. They were lost. The compass spun aimlessly. Phones went dead. The air grew bitterly cold, though it was supposed to be the dry season. "We have to get out of here," Eric shouted. But the path they had taken just 10 minutes earlier had transformed into a sheer cliff. First night, Anton vanished while keeping watch. By morning, his body was found suspended in a tree, exactly as recorded in Scipio's colonial notes. His heart was missing. Second night, Tina, the botanist, screamed in terror inside her tent, claiming she saw the shadow of a tiger circling her. At dawn, her body was found intact, except her tongue neatly severed. Shaken, Riani stumbled upon an inscription carved into a cave wall. "Only the blood of the ruler can halt the wrath of the guardian." "The blood of a ruler, Siliwangi," she whispered. "But how could we—" Suddenly, Eric raised a pistol and aimed it at her. "Sorry, Riani, but maybe the blood of his descendants will do." He pulled out an old document, a royal genealogy. It revealed that Riani herself was a direct descendant of Prince Walangsungsang. Epilogue. The guardian who never sleeps dawn broke over Mount Salak. The mist lifted, but the forest remained silent. No bird song, no rustling of leaves, only an unnatural stillness. Of the expedition, only Eric and Riani remained. But in Eric's eyes, madness had taken root. His gun trembled as he pointed it at Riani. "Your blood will appease him," he whispered, voice cracking. Before he could pull the trigger, the roar came, not from a tiger of flesh and bone, but from a colossal spectre, white as moonlight, its eyes blazing with eternal fury, the Maung Bodas. The ground shook. Trees bent as if in reverence. Eric's scream was cut short as the beast lunged, swallowing him whole into a burst of smoke. Riani collapsed. When she opened her eyes again, she was back at the forest's edge, the village visible in the distance. No trace of the path, no sign of the others. Locals found her wandering, dazed, clutching the torn genealogy scroll. When asked what had happened, she only replied, "The guardian never sleeps." To this day, villagers whisper that Mount Salak is not just a mountain. It is a borderland, a threshold between the mortal world and the realm of ancient spirits, and those who climb without respect never truly return.